Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Magic News with Magic Ridge. I'm your host, Ridge. Nice to meet you. And today we are going to continue on the previews / spoilers for Innistrad Midnight Hunt, the werewolf-themed type set on the Innistrad plane. This time I have downloaded all of the pictures, so we don't have to worry about the internet lagging and such. So we're just going to get right into it. We got around almost 50 of them for you today. I am a bit behind. I'll probably still be 100 or so behind after this one. I think they've spoiled right around 201 cards in the set so far. But let's get right into it. So first up, I've got Brimstone Vandal. For 2 mana of any color and a mountain, 3 CC, we have a creature type Devil. This Devil is a 2/3, has a little bit of that extra booty. He also has Menace. And if it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as Brimstone Vandal enters the battlefield. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, Brimstone Vandal deals 1 damage to each opponent. Not too bad for a common. Moving on, we have Famished Foragers. For 3 mana of any color and a mountain, 4 CC, we have a creature type Vampire. This Vampire is a 4/3, has a little bit of that extra front action, if you know what I'm talking about. When Famished Foragers enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, you can add 3 red mana to your mana pool. You can also pay 2 mana of any color and a mountain, discard a card to draw a card. Not bad for a common once again. Next up, we've got Poppet Stitcher. I thought it would be Puppet Stitcher, but it clearly says Poppet Stitcher. For 2 mana of any color and an island, 3 CC for a creature type human wizard of the mythic variety. This feller's got a little extra booty too at a 2/3. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. It can't block when it attacks. Sacrifice it at the end of combat. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more creature tokens, you may transform Poppet Stitcher. And the night side of Poppet Stitcher is Poppet Factory, which is an artifact that says creature tokens you control lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 3/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may transform Poppet Factory. All right, not too bad, not too bad. Next up, we have a uncommon. We've got Village Watch. For 4 mana of any color and a mountain, 5 CC. We have a creature type human werewolf. This werewolf is a 4/3. He's got a little bit of that extra front action, if you know what I mean. He also has haste and daybound. So if a player casts no spells during their own turn, it becomes night next turn. The night side of this feller is a creature type werewolf. He is a 5/4. Once again, a little extra front action. And it says, wolves and werewolves you control have haste, and this one has nightbound. So if a player casts at least 2 spells during their own turn, it becomes day next turn. Pretty cool. Up next, we have Omnimus Roost. For 2 mana of any color and an island, 3 CC for an enchantment of the blue variety. It says, whenever Omnimus Roost enters the battlefield or whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying, and this creature can block only creatures with flying. Alrighty then. Next up, we've got Foul Play. For 1 mana of any color and a swamp, 2 CC, sorcery speed, destroy target creature with power 2 or less, and you can investigate. So create a colorless clue artifact token with, you may pay 2 mana of any color, sacrifice this artifact to draw a card. Alrighty then. Next up, we've got Heirloom Mirror. For 1 mana of any color and a swamp. A swamp. So 2 CC for a artifact. You may pay 1 mana of any color and tap this artifact. Pay 1 life. Discard a card to draw a card, mill a card, and then put a ritual counter on Heirloom Mirror. Then if it has 3 or more ritual counters on it, remove them and transform. it. Activate only as a sorcery. And the night side of the Heirloom Mirror reads Inherited Fiend. It is a creature type demon. It is a 4/4 with flying. You can pay 2 mana of any color and a swamp, 3 mana in total. Exile target creature card from a graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on Inherited Fiend. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. Next up, we've got Thermo Alchemist for 1 mana of any color and a mountain. 2 CC, creature type human shaman. This thing is all booty. At 0/3, it is a defender. You may tap it. Thermo Alchemist deals 1 damage to each opponent. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, untap Thermo Alchemist. Alright, not bad at all. Next up, we've got Geist Flame Reservoir for 2 mana of any color and a mountain. 3 CC for an artifact. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a charge counter on Geist Flame Reservoir. For 1 mana of any color and a mountain, and tapping this artifact, so 2 mana, tap it. Remove any number of charge counters from Geist Flame Reservoir. It deals that much damage to any target. Has another ability for 1 mana of any color and a mountain, so 2 mana in total, and tap it. Says exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. I do kind of like that in red. Next up, Can't Stay Away for 1 plains and 1 swamp. 2 CC, sorcery speed. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if this creature would die, exile it instead. And has flashback of 3 mana of any color and a plains swamp. So 5 mana in total for the flashback. Also got a bunch of pretty kitties on there. Next up, we've got Baneblade Scoundrel for 3 mana of any color and a swamp. 4 CC for a creature type, human, rogue, werewolf. This werewolf is a 4/3 and has a little bit of that extra front action, if you know what I'm talking about. It's packing heat. It's probably that blade he's got there. It says, whenever Baneblade Scoundrel becomes blocked, each creature blocking it gets -1/-1 until end of turn. And this feller has Daybound, so if a player casts no spells during their own turn, it becomes night next turn. The night side of this guy is called Baneclaw Marauder. He is a creature type werewolf. He is a 5/4, a little bit of that extra front action. Probably just his claws there. Whenever Baneclaw Marauder becomes blocked, each creature blocking it gets -1/-1 until end of turn. And whenever a creature blocking Baneclaw Marauder dies, that creature's controller loses 1 life, and this fellow has Nightbound. So if a player casts at least 2 spells during their own turn, it becomes day next turn. Next up, we've got Curse of Leeches for 2 mana of any color and a swamp. 3 CC in total. We have an enchantment or a curse. So the day side of this says enchant player. As this permanent transforms into Curse of Leeches, attach it to a player. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, they lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. This also has Daybound. We've gone over that, so we'll go to the night side. The night side of this sucker is a Leeching Lurker. It is a creature type Leech Horror. It is a 4/4 with lifelink and Nightbound. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Next up, we've got Consuming Blob for 3 mana of any color and Forest, so 5 CC in total. We have a creature type Ooze for those Ooze tribals. Ooh, my goodness! It is an XX+1 in the defense area, so it says Consuming Blob's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to the number +1. At the beginning of your end step, create a green Ooze creature token with this creature's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to the number +1. So a multiplying type of Ooze. Next up, we've got Rite of Harmony for 1 forest and 1 plains, 2 CC, a little Selesnya love here. Instant speed. Whenever a creature or enchantment enters the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card, and it has flashback for 2 mana of any color and a forest plains. So 4 mana in total for its flashback. Next up, we've got Curse of Shaken Faith. For 1 mana of any color and a mountain, 2 CC. In total, we have enchantment or a curse. Enchant player. When enchanted player casts a spell other than the first spell they cast each turn or copies a spell, Curse of Shaken Faith deals 2 damage to them. So playing more than one spell, you are going to get punished, my friend. Next up, we've got Fangblade Brigand. Yeah, that sounds about right. For 3 mana of any color and a mountain, 4 CC, we have a creature type human werewolf. This feller has a little bit of that extra back action. It is a 3/4. You pay 1 mana of any color and a mountain, so 2 mana in total. Fangblade Brigand gets +1/+0 and first strike until end of turn and has Daybound. We've gone over Daybound before. We're not going to go over it again. The night side is called Fangblade Eviscerator. It is a creature type werewolf. He is a 4/5. He has a little bit of that extra booty. For 1 mana of any color and a mountain, so 2 mana in total. Fangblade Eviscerator gets +1/+0 and first strike until end of turn, and also you can pay 4 mana of any color and a mountain, so 5 mana in total. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn and has Nightbound. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's about it. Next up, we've got Locked in the Cemetery. Was this a curse? I don't know. For 1 mana of any color in an island, 2 CC, we have an enchantment or a enchant creature, so it's not a curse. When Locked in the Cemetery enters the battlefield, if there are 5 or more cards in your graveyard, tap Enchanted Creature. Enchanted Creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Not bad for a common. Next up, we've got Clear Shot for 2 mana of any color and a forest. 3 CC, instant speed of the green variety. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. So we got a little pseudo removal type situation there in green. Not bad. Next up, we have Siege Zombie for 1 mana of any color in a swamp. 2 CC. We have a creature type zombie. That is a 2/2. You can tap 3 untapped creatures you control. Each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, not that super great. Here's a lady I haven't seen in a long time. We have Giza. I'm going to call her Giza. I don't know what her name is, but I think it's Giza Glorious Resurrector. For 2 mana of any color and swamp, 4 CC in total. We have a legendary creature human wizard. She is a 4/4. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. At the beginning of your upkeep, put all creature card exiled with Giza Glorious Resurrector onto the battlefield under your control. They gain Decayed. I'm not sure if I like Decayed, but maybe. It says a creature with Decayed can't block, boo, and I believe you have to sacrifice it at the end of combat, also boo. But it's only if it attacks, I guess. So if you don't attack, maybe you don't sacrifice it? Unsure. I think you do. Like I said, we haven't seen that lady in a while, so that's kind of cool. Also, if you hear something in the background, it's probably rain. It has decided to pour over here. Next up, we've got Hobbling Zombie for 2 mana of any color in a swamp. 3 CC, creature type zombie. This zombie is a 2/2 with Death Touch. When Hobbling Zombie dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. Decayed is, it can't block. When it attacks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. Alrighty then. Next up, we've got, I thought it was Leader, but it's actually Larder Zombie. So Larder Zombie for 1 island, 1 CC, creature type zombie. It is a 1/3. It's got hella ass. I'm just kidding. It's got a bank. We're dealing with a bank here. This zombie with the ass has Defender. Tap 3 untapped creatures you control. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. Do like the artwork on this one. Very nice, very nice. Next up, I believe we have a reprint. We've got Dissipate for 1 mana of any color and Island. 3 CC, instant speed. Counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Yes, I believe that is a reprint. I do like the weird spirity exile demon thing by the chandelier. It's kind of cool. Next up, for some reason I copied that twice. Alright, next up we've got Blade Stitched Scab. For an island and a swamp, 2 CC, we have a creature type zombie soldier. This zombie soldier is a 2/3, friends, and he's got a bit of that extra bank. He is also a lord from the looks of it. It says other zombies you control get +1/+0 until, or not until end of turn. Yeah, just lord effect, +1/+0. Alright, next up we've got Gavany Dawnguard. Sorry, for 1 mana of any color, and then Plains. 3 CC, we have a creature type human soldier. This soldier is a 3/3 with ward 1. The 1 is a mana of any color. If it is neither day nor night, it becomes day as Gavany Dawnguard enters the battlefield. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I've been looking into like maybe making some sort of aggro at some point, so that'll be cool. Like small creatures. Next up, we've got Devoted Graphkeeper. For a Plains Island, 2 CC, we have a creature type Human Peasant. This peasant is a 2/1. He's got a little bit of that extra front action, if you know what I mean. When Devoted Graphkeeper enters the battlefield, mill 2 cards. Whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, tap target creature you don't control. It also has Disturb. So that looks like a little bit new. Disturb, 1 mana of any color, Plains Island, 3 mana in total for its Disturb cost. You may cast this card from your graveyard, transformed for its Disturb cost. So let's check out the transformed or night side. So the night side reads as Departed Soulkeeper. It is a creature type spirit. Looks like it may be blue and white. It is also a 3/1, so it has a little bit of that extra front action, if you know what I mean. It also flies, so Departed Soulkeeper can block only creatures with flying. If Departed Soulkeeper would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. I have a few more for you guys. I'm just going to go shut my window so that rain is not as loud. She's coming down like cats and dogs. Holy smokes. Alright. I might make it a little better. Apologies. Alright. Sorry about the inconvenience there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Next up, we've got Lunar Frenzy. For X mana of any color and a mountain, unknown CC, instant speed, target creature you control gets +X/+0 and gains first strike and trample until end of turn. I like this. There's actually, Howl from Beyond, the black version, which I actually play, so this could probably see some play. There's a ways to get a lot of red mana in red. Card that adds 3 for 2, or the one that adds 5 for 3, stuff like that. There's a lot of them out there. Next up, we've got Falcon Wrath Pit Fighter. For 1 mountain, 1 CC, we have a creature type, a Vampire Warrior. This warrior is a 2/1, has a little bit of that extra front action. For 1 mana of any color and a mountain, 2 mana in total, discard a card, sacrifice a vampire, draw 2 cards, activate only if an opponent lost life this turn. Yeah, I don't know if that's good or not. Maybe it's good if you got some death triggers. I'm sure it is good. It's good in a weird, you'd have to abuse it in a weird way kind of thing. Okay, next up, we've got a new legend. We have Sariath the Viper's Fang. I'm sure I butchered the first part. Sariath the Viper's Fang. For 2 mana of any color and forest, 4 CC for a legendary creature, human warlock. It is a 3/4, has a little bit of that extra booty action, which it should, because it's a snake. It's got a long booty. Okay? It says, other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. Other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. For 1 mana, you can tap this legend and untap another target creature or land you control. Alright. definitely interesting, definitely different. I do like this set. This set looks like it's definitely bringing the heat, so I do believe we're going to beat the box. I think. I don't know, though. Set boxes have kind of gotten worse as I've gone along, but I digress. Next up, sorry if some of these are repeats. The site that I use is a pain in the butt sometimes, and sometimes it shows like the alternate artworks or whatever you want to call them, things like that. So next up, I have Donhart Rejuvenator. For 3 mana of any color in a forest, 4 CC. We have a creature type human warlock. This warlock is a 2/4, has a little bit of that extra booty. When Donhart Rejuvenator enters the battlefield, gain 3 life, and you can tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. I think I showed that the other day. Different artwork for it. Moving on. We have Kessing Naturalist for a mountain and forest. 2 CC for a creature type human werewolf. This werewolf is a 2/2, and whenever Kessing Naturalist attacks, add a red or green mana to your mana pool until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases ends. That's very interesting and also very good. And has Daybound. So let's check out the night version of this. So the other side there, the transformed or night version, is Lord of the Unleavened. It is a creature type werewolf. It is red and green. It is a lord, has a lord effect. It is a 3/3, and other wolves and werewolves you control get +1/+1. And whenever Lord of the Unleavened attacks, add a red or green mana to your mana pool until end of turn. You do not lose this mana as steps and phases end, and once again it has Nightbound. Moving right along, a very interesting artifact, we have the Celestis. Celestis? The Celestis. For 3 mana of any color, 3 CC, we have a legendary artifact. If it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as the Celestis enters the battlefield. You can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. You can pay 3 mana and tap this legendary artifact. If it's night, it becomes day. Otherwise, it becomes night. Activate only as a sorcery. So a way to manipulate the day-night mechanic, it looks like. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you gain 1 life. You may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Seems pretty good. Seems like mediocre range, I guess. Personally, own personal opinion. I haven't really gotten into this set very much and really thought about it very much, so that's just my opinion, people. Don't be upset. Next up, we have Vampire Socialite. Yeah, Vampire Socialite. For a swamp and mountain 2 CC, we have a creature type, a Vampire Noble. This sucker is a 2/2 with Menace. Whenever Vampire Socialist enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each other vampire you control. I would consider this kind of like a little Lord feller for vampires. As long as an opponent lost life this turn, each other vampire you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Now, back in the day when it was like Team Edward or whatever the other one is, I'm definitely the vampires, into vampires more than werewolves. I'd like to potentially make a deck of each. I'd like to make a werewolf one for Commander Wars EDH. If you have a chance, go ahead and check out Commander Wars EDH. It's a channel that me and my friends run that shows all sorts of EDH gameplay. So yeah, I think we're on like episode 23, 24. We're getting up there. We got like 25 videos. So there's probably something of your interest in there as EDH is concerned. So go ahead and check it out. We'd appreciate it. So yeah. Moving right along, we've got Graveyard Trespasser. For 2 mana of any color in a swamp, 3 CC, we have a creature type human werewolf. She, or he, I think it's a she, is a 3/3. It has Ward. You have to discard a card for this Ward. Whenever Graveyard Trespasser enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And it has Daybound. The night side or transform side says it is a Graveyard Glutton. It is a creature type werewolf. It is a 4/4. It has Ward of discard a card once again. And whenever Graveyard Glutton enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards. For each creature card exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And it has Nightbound. Moving right along, we have Seize the Storm for 4 mana of any color and a mountain 5cc sorcery speed. Create a red elemental creature token with trample, and this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard, plus the number of cards with flashback you own in exile. This card also has flashback for 6 mana of any color and a mountain, so 7 mana in total for its flashback cost. Very nice. Next up, we've got Curse of Silence for 1 planes. 1cc, we have an enchantment or a curse. Enchant player. A Curse of Silence enters the battlefield. Choose a card name. Spells with the chosen name enchanted player casts cost 2 more to cast. So this isn't going to keep it from not coming out ever again, but it's going to tax it and make it cost more. Weird, I guess. Also says, whenever enchanted player casts a spell with the chosen name, you may sacrifice Curse of Silence. If you do, draw a card. Not impressed. Sorry. I'm a big EDH white player. White being the color of choice that I play. And we don't see a lot of love. Now, the last set, we did have a very good angel, so I'm not complaining too much, but we'll see. They said they're fixing white. So far, no, you're not. So far, you're not. One good card came out. Anyhow, next up, we have Pithing Needle, which I believe is a reprint. 1 mana of any color, 1cc, artifact. As Pithing Needle enters the battlefield, choose a card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. I'm not sure if that's a reprint or not, to be honest with you. Next up, we've got Ghoulish Procession for 1 mana of any color in a swamp. 2cc for an enchantment. Whenever 1 or more non-token creatures die, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. This ability triggers only once each turn. We're not going to go over the Decayed feature there, but boo, that's not that great. Next up, we've got Faithful Mending for 8 planes and an island. 2cc, instant speed. You gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. It also has flashback for 1 mana of any color and a plains island, so flashback for 3 mana in total. This one's pretty good. Not too bad for an uncommon. Next up, we've got something made me laugh, something made me smile. I like the artwork on this guy. So we have Croaking Counterpart for 1 mana of any color and a forest island, 3cc, sorcery speed. Create a token that's a copy of target non-frog creature, except it's a 1/1 green frog. We also have flashback for 3 mana of any color and a mountain island, so 5 mana in total for its flashback. Artwork is rad. The card itself is actually also pretty good. It's just my brain's like, what did that say? We're just going to pass for now. Next up, we have Unnatural Growth for 1 mana of any color, and then Forest, so 5cc in total for green enchantment. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. That's very good. I like it. We like it. Very good, very good. It's going to be good in werewolves. It's going to be good in green. Very nice, very nice. Next up, we've got Sludge Monster for 3 mana of any color and Island, 5cc, creature type horror. This horror is a 5/5. Whenever Sludge Monster enters the battlefield or attacks, put a slime counter on up to 1 target creature. Non-horror creatures with slime counters on them lose all abilities and base power and toughness 2/2. Pretty good, pretty good. Next up, we've got Diregraph Rebirth for 3 mana of any color and a swamp forest. So 5cc, sorcery speed. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature that died this turn. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Also has a flashback cost of 5 mana of any color and swamp forest, so 7 mana in total for its flashback. That's pretty good, actually. It's not terrible. definitely going to be getting, like, it's good. Trust me, it's good, man. It's good for an uncommon. This one has an interesting artwork. Reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Anyone else? That opening scene there with the little boy with the cow head on. Anyway, we have Flesh Talker for 1 plain swamp, so 2 CC for a creature type human assassin. This thing is a 2/2. Whenever you sacrifice another creature, you gain 1 life and scry 1. Very good. You can also pay 1 mana of any color and sacrifice another creature. Fleshstalker gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Pretty freaking awesome. Next up, we've got Ghoulcaller's Harvest for a swamp forest. So 2 CC, sorcery speed. Create X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with Decayed, where X is half the number of creature cards in your graveyard, rounded up. Also, it has a flashback of 3 mana of any color and a swamp forest. So its flashback is 5 mana in total. This one's pretty good as well. Definitely going to be good with something with a lot of dead stuff. Lots of dead things in the graveyard. Going to be good. Next up, we've got Donhart Wardens for 1 mana of any color and Forest Plains. 3 CC, creature type human warlock. This sucker is a 3/3 with Vigilance and has Coven. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Pretty good for a common, and I know this is the one I left off on. So this is going to be the last spoiler of this video. Hopefully I will catch up. This weekend I will finish spoiling everything, and then hopefully even get onto the new cards printed in the 2 new commander decks as well. I mean, that's me being pretty upbeat and hoping that it happens. Pretty under the weather right now, but we're getting this thing done. So I left off on Lieza Forgotten Archangel. 2 mana of any color, plains, swamp, 5 CC. We have a legendary creature, Angel. She is a 4/5. She has a little bit of that extra booty. Yeah, she does. She is a flying lifelink. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Not as hardcore as the original Lieza. I still like the original Lieza. I like the artwork of this Lieza better. Let's see. But she is pretty good, though. She would definitely make for a decent commander, among other things. What do you guys think? Once again, also, if you're interested in Commander EDH gameplay, go ahead and check out Commander Wars EDH. A group of friends and I run another channel where we get together on weekends and record gameplay. We haven't recorded in a few weeks, but we've got at least 25 videos, and we'll be back up and running in no time. So go ahead and check it out. New stuff coming up pretty soon, hopefully. So yeah, hope you all have a wonderful evening, wonderful day, an amazing lunch. Make sure you tell your loved ones you love them, you know, whatever. And yeah, I appreciate you coming out. I'm headed to 100 subscribers. We're at like 81 right now. So if you're interested in anything I do, we do giveaways with every every new set. We do a giveaway. We've got deck techs. We got everything. We got box openings. I try and go over all the spoilers, anything printed new in the new sets, new commander decks, all sorts of stuff. So go ahead and have a peek at what I have to offer, and we are pretty much getting right back on track to posting content at least 2 or 3 times a week. So I appreciate y'all. If you can, smash that thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and more content there will be. Until next time.